Kazakhstan is a vast country with 17 million inhabitants. Its massive size connects Europe and Asia. It is one of the youngest nations in the world, but it has a rich history. The country has come a long way since independence on December 16, 1991. Today, it is a sovereign state, secure in its borders and respected by the international community. Kazakhstan's macroeconomic management has proven effective. The economy recovered fully from a severe economic depression in the 1990s and proved resilient after the global financial crisis in 2008. High growth during the 2000s created jobs and brought down poverty. The country has also benefited from strong international demand for oil, its main export. Today, Kazakhstan can look forward to a promising future. It has a young and well-educated labor force, a track record of effective economic management. Revenues from natural resources will support investments to create a diversified economy. The global economic environment is expected to be hospitable for the next 15 to 20 years. And Kazakhstan can benefit from its location at the center of Eurasia. Of course, Kazakhstan's economy, like others, also faces risks from the international environment, as well as challenges at home. Important partners such as Russia, China, Europe, the US, and Japan may face economic stagnation. Oil and gas prices could soften. Unexpected technological developments could alter the direction of the global economy. To manage these external risks successfully and take advantage of opportunities, the country must continue to build a resilient, flexible, and innovative economy. Today, Kazakhstan ranks mostly in the middle of the global country rankings, rather than among the top 30 on many indices of comparative policy performance. Looking ahead, Kazakhstan wants to move towards the top ranks across the board. Particular attention will need to be paid to the important areas of governance, including control of corruption and political participation. This will help the country to grow more rapidly, to achieve broad-gauged progress, and to provide sustainable, higher quality of life for all its citizens. Vision of Kazakhstan 2050. In December 2012, the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan announced the Strategy 2050, which sets forth a bold vision of joining the ranks of the top 30 developed countries by 2050. Becoming one of the top 30 developed countries in terms of per capita income is important. But what the 2050 vision really aims at is to improve the quality of life of Kazakhstan's people. Effective institutions and high-quality human resources will provide the foundations for the modern Kazakhstani state in 2050. Sound management of its energy and environmental resources will lead to sustainable green growth and preserve today's endowments for future generations. Efficient, livable, well-connected cities and rural regions will offer opportunities for jobs and commerce, and drawing on these foundations and pillars of good policy, Kazakhstan can aim to create a diversified, modern knowledge economy that is open to the rest of the world and ready to work with its neighbors for mutual prosperity and peace. Priority actions. Independent research concluded that in order to achieve this bold vision, Kazakhstan will need to act decisively in 7 priority areas. First, build a strong institutional capacity, implement agreed policies in an effective, fair, and transparent manner, create more space for private entrepreneurship, control corruption, and pursue economic reforms together with political reforms. Second, create a strong human resource base. Value well-educated, healthy citizens who have meaningful jobs and are protected by a sound social safety net. Build a modern education system from early childhood to postdoctoral research, and promote preventive medicine with patient responsibility. Third, effectively and sustainably manage Kazakhstan's energy resources. Establish sound targets for energy extraction and efficiency, and institutional structures that will help with their implementation. Fourth, achieve a green economy. Preserve Kazakhstan's rich environment and enhance global competitiveness. Explore carbon taxation. expand protection of natural reserves and biodiversity, and promote a resilient agriculture, drawing on proven genetically modified organisms. Fifth, build balanced and efficient urban and regional economies. Strengthen a decentralized, empowered, and accountable governmental structure. Upgrade urban services. Invest in ICT connectivity. Expand local authorities' revenue and expenditure authority with clear oversight. And build strong local capacity for infrastructure and social communal services management. Sixth, build a diversified, modern knowledge economy on the foundation of the above 5 priority areas. Promote competition in all economic activities. Improve the business environment. Support priority areas in a selective, transparent, and competitive manner. And develop world-class research universities and smart cities. Seventh, continue to be open to the rest of the world and ready to work with all neighbors. Join the WTO. Provide leadership on Central Asian cooperation. And develop the transit infrastructure connecting its neighbors to the east and west. Principles for action. A number of principles cut across these priority action areas and become important guideposts for the leadership of Kazakhstan. Openness to the rest of the world and to national stakeholders, which requires resilience and flexibility in responding to the unexpected. And competitiveness, serving as the driving force at home and abroad. However, competition needs to be balanced with cooperation with public and private partners abroad, and with inclusiveness that gives every citizen a chance to share in the political process and prosperity. And throughout, sustainability has to inform the way natural, financial, and human resources are used, and effectiveness is key in implementation of policies. Finally, accountability of all actors, public and private, has to underpin their lawful and effective pursuit of individual and national welfare. Pursuit of these 8 principles is critical if Kazakhstan is to achieve its ambitious long-term vision. Leadership and a sense of urgency will set the tone. The 7 priority action areas and 8 principles for guiding the reforms are meant to serve as pathways to achieve the ambitious vision of Kazakhstan 2050. Long-term economic scenarios show that Kazakhstan can indeed join the top 30 developed countries in terms of per capita income, but this is far from a foregone conclusion. To achieve a top 30 developed country ranking, rapid growth in Kazakhstan's non-resource sector will be critical. By steadily closing the current productivity gap with the top 30 countries, Kazakhstan's economic growth rates could remain at between 4 to 5% for most of the coming decades. As a result, per capita incomes would reach over $70,000 by 2050, compared with some $13,000 in 2011. This would place Kazakhstan close to that of the United States by then, and GDP would be over $1.5 trillion. In contrast, under a business-as-usual scenario, Kazakhstan would not only not advance, but could even fall further behind from current rankings. The difference in outcomes between the 2 scenarios is dramatic for the country and for individual citizens. Kazakhstan's economic growth rate would steadily decline to 2% or less. Per capita income would be limited to around $26,000 by 2050, or just double the 2011 level. GDP would also be only about 1/3 of that in the convergence scenario. To sum up, achieving the vision of Kazakhstan 2050 presents great challenges. The policy choices the country will have to make entail difficult economic and political trade-offs. But the urgency with which they are tackled, as well as the effectiveness and accountability with which they are implemented, will be the keys to Kazakhstan's success.